Heyo! I'm back to talk about Let's Talk Movies. It's the same concept as the previous video. I just wanna talk about / recommend some of the movies that I recently bought on either DVD or Blu-ray. In this video we're gonna go through the releases of 5 different distribution companies. So, exciting. Let's start. Since the previous video was all Arrow Video, we're gonna start this one off with some Arrow Academy releases. It's the more art house branch of Arrow Films. I have 4 movies, all by Polish director Valerian Borowczyk. He started out as an animator, but moved to feature-length live-action movies around 1970, where his style quickly moved to the artistic eroticism realm, if you will. These first 2 I haven't seen yet, with the first being Goto, Island of Love, Borowczyk's first live-action movie. From what I understand, it's a drama about a community on an isolated island ruled by a dictator, and then, I presume, some crazy stuff happens. But like I said, I wouldn't know because I haven't seen it yet, but we'll be checking this one out soon. The other one I haven't seen yet is Immoral Tales. It's an anthology movie made at a time when the French film censors were allowing more and more sexually explicit content. So this is where Borowczyk's movies, who made most of his movies in France, got more and more sexually explicit. But yeah, still have to see this one as well. Then, The Beast. Arguably Borowczyk's best known movie, which originally was gonna be one of the short movies included in Immoral Tales, but eventually became a movie on its own, about an arranged marriage where the bride-to-be is having some interesting sexual dreams or fantasies. It's kind of something you have to see for yourself. I think I liked it. Although I did have some issues with the pacing. Would be interesting to watch this one on a first date though. You know, where you both go in blind. Some of you should try this. And more importantly, let me know how that went. And finally, from Borowczyk, The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Miss Osborne. Loosely based on the classic novel by Robert Louis Stevenson. It's more horror themed than, from what I understand, most of his previous work, but remains somewhat sexually explicit. It's actually a pretty fun movie. Definitely not for everyone. It's still quite artsy, but here that actually really helps the movie with the whole look and feel atmosphere. Yeah, this movie looks great. Then, a few releases from Third Window Films, a small independent film distribution company based in the UK that specializes in East Asian cinema. These first 3 are all directed by Shinya Tsukamoto, and I'm putting these together because I still haven't seen either of them. Tokyo Fist, Bullet Ballet, and A Snake of June. Tsukamoto made a bit of a name for himself when he made the cyberpunk classic Tetsuo the Iron Man, a movie I've covered during my Disturbing Movies series. These 3 movies are way less surreal and experimental than Tetsuo, but from what I understand, you can still very much recognize Tsukamoto's distinctive style. So yeah, I should really give these ones a watch. Next, we have Low-Life Love, about this low-life filmmaker and his gang of misfits. It's one of the movies I've recommended in my Best Movies I've Seen in 2016 video, and well, I still stand by that recommendation. It's an honest, funny, but also sad look at the underbelly of the filmmaking industry. You can check out that Best Movies video for some more, but I basically say the same as here, but And this one, Destruction Babies, I've recommended in my Best Movies I've Seen in 2017 video. It's a nihilistic movie that's very thin on plot, but the extremely realistic fight sequences kinda just keep you watching. I recorded that to show some friends what I was watching. They didn't really care, but yeah, it's pretty intense stuff. And finally, from Third Window Films, from South Korea, you know, all the previous ones were Japanese movies, Han Gong-yu. Yeah, is that right? I thought I talked about this one as well before in one of those Best Movies I've Seen videos, but I guess not. It's a pretty heavy drama inspired by a real-life gang rape incident. I had a little trouble with the pacing. The movie is quite slow and could have been a little shorter if it were up to me. But still, it's very well crafted and pretty hard-hitting towards the end. Definitely worth checking out if you're in the mood for a heavy drama. Then 3 releases from Criterion. We all know Criterion. First, Sweet Movie. I've talked about this one during my Disturbing Movie series, where I made it out to be pretty out there. But when I recently rewatched it with my girlfriend, we both figured that it really wasn't that bad. Especially if you watch it in the right context. And this release with the special features and the written essays definitely help you with that. I mean, I definitely appreciate it more now than when I talked about it in my Disturbing Movies video. So yeah. Then, Picnic at Hanging Rock, and what a beautiful release this is. As well as a beautiful movie, something I tried to explain in my Best Movies I've Seen in 2016 video. Check that one out. Or just the movie, it's pretty great. The release comes with a bunch of special features, a nice thick booklet, and the complete original novel the movie is adapted from. Because, hey, we all know how much of a reader I am. I'm not, that was a joke. But hey, it is pretty cool to have this little box set. And finally, from the Criterion collection, Hausu, also known as House. It's been a while since I've seen this one, but I remember it being pretty bonkers. I mean, that's kind of what this movie is known for. It's a 1977 Japanese horror comedy about a group of schoolgirls who travel to a remote country house where all kinds of weird shit happens. It's silly, it's funny, it's quite original. Yeah, check it out if you've never heard of this one before. Then, a couple of movies released by Vinegar Syndrome, a distribution company specialized in underground genre films. First up, relatively well known, it's Jack Frost. And no, not the Michael Keaton family movie, but the killer snowman horror comedy movie. It's pretty stupid, but it doesn't take itself seriously like at all, so in the end it works pretty well. It's stupid fun, but quite rewatchable. I mean, after I got this Blu-ray, I watched it twice in like 3 days or so. Yeah, it's perfect if you're in the mood for a silly little movie where you don't have to think too much, or at all. Love the lenticular slipcover, by the way. And in somewhat that same category, we have Demon Wind, a much lesser known title that actually surprised me a bit by how entertaining it was. It's probably best described as a mix between The Evil Dead and Demons, but not as good or fun as either of those. It's quite silly and doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but there's tons of practical effects that'll keep you entertained throughout. Yeah, it's great for fans of low-budget, trashy 80s horror flicks. Hobgoblins. A movie I also recommended in my previous Best Movies I've Seen in 2017 video. Not because it's good, because it's not. Everybody agrees on that. It's not good. But it is quite a lot of fun if you approach it as a so bad it's good type of movie. So get some friends together, get some drinks, pop in Hobgoblins, and you'll probably have a better time than if you were to put on some critically acclaimed movie. Maybe. Just try it out. And finally, from Vinegar Syndrome, one that I haven't seen myself yet, The Corpse Grinders. What a fantastic title. I believe one of the more popular movies from no-budget schlock filmmaker Ted V. Michaels, who made other fantastic sounding movies like The Astro Zombies and Blood Orgy of the She-Devils. Like I said, I haven't seen it yet and I'm not expecting much, but should at least be a little bit fun, right? Right? And finally, 3 releases from the Vestron Video Collectors series. First up, Return of the Living Dead 3. And man, was I happy when they announced this one. The UK DVD I already owned contained the unrated version, but was open matted, while the US DVD release came in its original aspect ratio, but had minor cuts. So neither release was ideal. This here is basically the definitive release, and I love this movie. Very different from the original Return of the Living Dead, or the first sequel for that matter, but as a standalone horror sort of love story, it's one of my favorites. Then, Parents. Also quite excited when they announced this one. Many years ago, when I did this 30-day horror challenge on my channel, for one video I had to come up with a movie I thought no one else had seen, and I picked Parents. I mean, what did I know? But this was at a time where you couldn't really get a decent copy for the movie, and I had to do with this bootleg DVD. Now, on Blu-ray, it looks great and it's still as fun as ever. It's about this kid who starts to wonder where all the meat they always have for dinner comes from. Yeah, check it out if you've never seen this one before. And finally, Slaughter High, the latest for now release in the Vestron series. It's a slasher flick released a little after the heydays of the genre, but one that's definitely worth checking out if you're into these type of movies. You know, slasher movies. It might not be the most classic slasher from the 80s, but it's fun, full of inventive, somewhat gory killings, and well, that's it's kind of all you need from a 80s slasher. But yeah, no, seriously, I really dig this one. And that's all for today. Once again, I really hope you guys like this video, or mostly like this format. Please let me know in the comments. I mean, I really appreciate your feedback and opinions. I mean, the next two, the last two, I did already shoot and edit and, you know, like they're finished, so I'm gonna post them regardless. But then at least I sort of know what type of reactions to anticipate, you know? So, sounds good. See you guys soon, or not. Depends on cheers.